Hello everyone, this is Shelby with Shelby Creations. I am at a dilemma. One, I'm trying to get everything cleaned up so that we can work on the journals, our new journal that we just started. But I am finding that I'm running out of space. I've got paper. I've got my paper here. I've got this bin, I've got this bin, and here's some, and we need to consolidate because I don't have the room for all of this. So what I was thinking, I do like this, the way this is, this one here, because this is all my bigger from 6x6 and up, so, and that fits right under there. But no matter, I mean, that one will fit there, but I can't put all my paper in it. And this isn't big enough to fit that, and I can't turn it sideways. And I don't like having them up on end. But then if I bring in, yes, I am the plastic tote queen. If I bring that in, now see, let me sort of share with you my dilemma. I've got this bin. I've got this bin. But where they go, they need to go, well, I'm trying to see where I can pull it up to. I only have that much room because I've got this back there. So I need to figure something out. So anyway, and if I push, I've got a stack of these right next to it, and if I push those over anymore, I may not be able to get into the drawer, but I only need like that much. So right now it can stay there. But how do you consolidate your papers? Because I've got different sizes, but it's the way I use them. First of all, let's get these out from under here. These are my small ones, my teeny ones, my tiny ones. They can sit there for right now. Depending on the size of journal I do, depends on the size of page that I need. 6x6 and up, you know, there's some 6x8, 6, you know, it goes in from there. There's a lot of, 6x6 in there, and then it goes up from there, and there's some 8x8. Okay, well, if you can see it here. See, I've got all this, 6x6, 8x8, and so forth. But put that one aside for a minute. This is my main one. Because see, I've got this color, I've got green, and I got pink. Well, not that one, but that one. So, see, now you got to choose a color. Let's go with the pink. I haven't used pink in a while. So, I love getting these from the Dollar Tree. They're just so colorful. Now, I like going in sizes, in height. Will that fit? But see, that's not going to fit there. So I can't, what part will fit there? Well, those, barely. All right, so now I've got background in there. That's as wide as I can go. So, are any of these that wide? No, all these here are too wide. So they're going to have to go with those. Those go there. Now, as you can see that, let me get these straightened up. They are different heights this way. But when I put them, move you out the, oops, I can't put you down there. Moore's laying down that way. But I like putting them this way so that I can flip through them. And it's a lot easier. And yeah, I know there's a long one there. It will be there. And then I can incorporate these, I think, Let's look at some of these big ones here in the back. Will they fit? They do, they fit. So, make sure they're all the same size. Yes, Amora is saying hello. Okay, I'm going to take this. Well, I can't take the whole section because I can't pick all that up with one hand. So let's sort of get them a little all there together. Those fit? Yes. I may be able. Now let's see if I can get these. All right, first things first, get rid of that. We keep like those grocery bags when you don't want to use plastic. You've got all these grocery bags. Yeah, we've got all these grocery bags. Okay. Yes, I know. She's wanting to say hello, everyone. She hears me talking and thinks I'm talking to her. So, all right, we got these. Now, I may have to push this over just a tad. I just hope I'll be able to get that. All right, they're going to be scrunched up in there, but they're going to fit. Now, what do we do with these? We have different heights. See if I can get. I'm not worried about the links this way. It's the height this way. And it just makes it easier when you're flipping through them. Too big. Let's come back here. Will you fit in here? Yes. All right. Or no, I think you need to go even behind that. I know, we just did, our space in here. We just got everything, cleaned up and done. And now, it's like, Shelby, you are going back and redoing, and you just did. And yes, I am. And you will find that I am not the only one that will be going through this and doing this. A lot of you will do the same thing from time to time. You will find things that are not quite working the way you want them to. So you come in and you readjust. Now these should be all 6 by 6. And I think they went back here. Is that where they go? Yeah. And then I've got all of these in front. So at least I know when I'm looking for a 6 by 6, they're all there. See, now it's easier. Switch some of these around. That doesn't need to go there. That needs to go back here. There. See, now when I go to look, I can look, and if I'm looking for a size, if I need 6 by 6, I've got them all here. If I need 8 by 8, I've got them all here. I mean, I do have 12 by 12s, but I'd rather stick with something that's manageable. So I've got these done. Now, yes, I do have some that stick out. That's okay, but they're here where I can thumb through them. And then this, I keep it there mainly because it's the only place I can find to put it. And this is tickets and strips and stuff like that. And that's about the only place that I can find to put it. And will that still sit in the front? Yes. Okay, now cross your fingers that it still fits over here. Scrunch it up. All right, we've got that. We've got that. Now, if I get them, you would think that, here I've spent all this time getting things organized, and I'm going through and redoing everything again. But we do that from time to time because it wasn't working. So we're going to change it to where it does work. Now, I do have all of these left. And what I'm thinking is I have a drawer here that I keep certain things in. Turn that way. And those will fit. See, then like that, these are my little small ones. All of these are in here. And I think I've got everything pretty much by height. I think these go down here with these. There's another one. I think that's where I pulled them from when I pulled them all out to use them. These don't go that way. These go here. If I can remember where they go. These, I know these don't go in here. But they're here. Why are they here? And why... Am I the only one that goes through this? You put things away and then you go back to look and then you're thinking, why are you here? Why are you in this area? You are not supposed to be in this area. I'm not even sure these will fit in here. Yeah, they do, but they don't go there. They probably, there. But now I need to angle these down a little bit so that they will all fit. Okay, we've got that done. Now I've got, see, this is scraps. Like I do have my scrap bin. Now, if I got this done, then I've got, the last bin I have is this one. Yes, I set my glasses in here. And I love emeralds. Yeah, that would make an awesome ring. But I'd lose my hand in there. And I did find, yes, I know this is my trash can, but when I was going through all the old photos, I found some old tape that was on one of them. And you better believe I'm saving this right now. Right now it's in my trash can because I don't have any other place for it. And that's where I stuck that and my reading glasses. So, but now I have these that I have, yeah, I have my wand. Yeah, and all of this is stuff that I had pulled out from the last 2 journals we were working on. There's another bin. So now we are up to, let me get these out, my extras. So I've got the green, I've got all green left, which is good. That's fine. Oh, wait a minute. There goes another one. And then I've still got the clear one. That's that one. I told you, I'm probably the queen of plastic containers around here. And then the other one I found, I now have a extra pencil case. And they're all in one of these big, you know, plastic grocery bags that are reusable. Okay. But at some point, you got to stop what you're doing. You've got to clean up your mess. Now, these I do want to use, but if I put them back over there, then they're not going to get used like they need to be. So, that's why I made other baskets. I have got one here. Well, if I can get it out. Yep, and this one's a blue one. But this has stuff that it's like, use me now. That I need to go through here and start pulling out and using. I love those sheets that I was sent by a very special someone. I mean, things that I have found that I need to use. So that's where these are going. Because these are the use me now things. So, all of those are in there, and this goes back on my shelf. I've got 3 of these on the shelf, as it is. One holds, you know, the use me now. Then I have one that has things that need to be finished, which most of that is thanks to Sherry. And then another one is just envelopes and things. And then, because my cart's no longer here, I need someplace to hold my stuff. my tools. And it was in this, but this is too small. So now it's all in here. But I had it in this one because I could see everything. But now it's sort of like it's going to get, we'll see how that does. If I don't like it, I can always go back. And then I put all my little things in this one that would get lost in there. Like I have tweezers and my little tiny scissors, my little bone folder, I call it a smudger because that's basically what it's a makeup sponge. And I have Pum Pumper, I like him. I've got him, and somewhere around here I've got Taz in the old Pez container. All right, so that's those. Then I hang that back up. That's just decoration. Well, now I'm going to lose everything. There we go. That's a keychain that I had bought up in Chapel Hill, which is about 3.5 hours from here. And a crocheted heart that Nikki got me for Valentine's Day this year. All right, those hang up there. And I think that's it. I know I've got a few things here, but that's like, you know, this is a little pocket journal that I keep, or date planner, whatever you want to call it. I keep it in my bag. Then I have the sticky things left from our journal. So I do want to use those. So in fact, since they're scraps, why don't we put them in our scrap thing? Then I have the treasure I found, old family photos. And I can honestly say these are my old family photos. So those have a place there. I have ephemera over here. See, it's more paper. And I had set these aside, but where they were, it's not working. So I need to put them where I can use them, which means they need to be somewhere safe. And excuse me, Amora. Let's see. I'm going to put those in here because these are originals and I do want to make copies of them. So you have to find a place to put your stuff. So those go in there. I pulled out that one, but it was sort of connected to it. These are digi-prints that I had gotten from Pam at the Paper Outpost. Beautiful little things. Okay, these go back on my shelf. But you see where you can get sidetracked by having too much and not knowing where it's at. That's my notepad. Love that little thing, but it's not where it's supposed to go. There. So now glue. In fact, I have 2 more glues. A little one. I've got like 3 things of glue. And I put my ring on there so I can keep it. And that's it. See, I have a clean desk. I have my papers organized so that I can reach in or file through them and figure out what I need. So they're easily accessible. And then that's my baby Amora. What else? Just like I've gone through this one here and done the same thing. All it is getting things where you can readily find them as you need them. I've got, stickers and other plain pieces of paper. There's tags back there. There's puzzle pieces. Cool, I forgot I had those. But see what happens? This is why you have to go through and look for things. Unicorn horn powder. Oh, those are for Halloween. That's the same thing. They're like Magic Bottle stuffs. Special stickers that I have. And other little paraphernalia. So I've gone through and redone it all. And I've done this time and time again. And I know some of you, because I had someone tell me, Shelby, it seems like I try to get things done. I get my space straightened up and put where I want it, and it works for a little bit, but then it's not working. So she said, I'm so tired of changing and not having anything that works. You're not going to have anything that works. You're going to have something that will work temporarily, because that's the way you are working at the moment. It's like when we were working on our jewel tone with the dark pages. I had all my dark pages in one area, all the jewel tone in one area, so I could pull them. But as you saw tonight earlier when I put them away, they're all mixed up again. Why? Because I'm not working this way right now. I'll be working in a different way. So you have to rearrange what you're working on to match what you are working on. Match your supplies to how you are working. I will get that straightened out. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So don't get flustered because you have to redo things. Like I had to redo my paper. And I had to make room because I've got so much. But I need to be able to see it in order to use it in our new journal. So, don't be afraid to change things around. It's only paper. And like I said, if it doesn't work one way, switch it to where it does work. If you're like, well, yeah, I've got this over here and all of this is in here, but it's not working for me because I have to move it to do anything, put it in another area. Now it's not between you and where you need to be, but it's accessible. Now, when it comes to, I know some have asked, how do you know where to place things? It's like I showed you before. I can pull, like these are my little small things, my small tools. There's my other tools. There's my glue. I can move these over. I've got paper right here. Why? Because I use paper every day. I've got lotion because if you've got paper, you need lotion. Move this little things out of here. These don't belong here. What is this? Oh, that's that extra button thing. And see, and then I've got little things that I had pulled for the last 2 or 3 journals are still sitting up here. But I use them. They're right here. As you see me pull the 2 drawers from out of here, the one with the papers and the other little special things. I've got them right here because I use them. I've got my sticker books on top of that little stack because if I need stickers, move that light out of the way, I can reach up there and I can pull them down. What you are using constantly, make that your first area within arm's reach. Let's say that's area 1 or ground 0. This is where you are working. This is where you need your stuff. And you're using this stuff every day. Things that you don't use every day, that can be the next step out. To where you may have to reach, like I had to reach for the envelopes over there, the big plastic ones. That's my step 2. Things that I don't use, but maybe once a month or so, or 2 or 3 times a year, they're either on the bottom of the shelf or on the top part of the shelf, around here. Things that I don't need all the time because they may be extras or they may be other things like tools. I don't have all of my punches near me because I don't use all my punches. The ones I use right now are my corner punches. I've got those right there because I'll be using them. Other punches are in the drawer. I've still got other punches on the far shelf because those are not the ones I'm using at the time. You know, so as you, the things you use the less of, put those the farthest in your farthest area. You know, and then as you, like I said, as you use things, the things you use every day should be within arm's reach. So, and that's the way I was taught. And the lady that taught me how to set up my work area, Leslie Bockenstedt, she has since passed away from breast cancer. But she was a wonderful woman. And the way she set up her room, I had watched her room tour, and she said, you know, what I use every day is close to me. And that made sense. So that's what I have tried to do. And that's what I've tried to pass on to, you know, to all of you and others who have asked the questions. So just a little hint and tip and a little help, you know, a little way to help me clean up my desk. Now that I've moved everything out of the way, I can move it back. Move my little jars back. This really doesn't need to be over there. You know what? You're right. It doesn't need to be there because I don't pull. I've got these two drawers here. I don't open them all the time, so those can sit in front. Right? Right. My readers can sit right there. My hand sanitizer is right there with it. My wand, believe me, every once in a while, y'all need them. We all need a magical boost, and this is my magical booster. You know, I could do like abracadabra and nothing's going to happen, but it's the thought that counts. So, anyway, thank you for joining me with my little rearranging and cleaning up, and see how scatterbrained I can be at times. So, if you've enjoyed our little time together this evening, give me a thumbs up. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. If you are not, please consider subscribing to my channel. And until next time, which we will be starting our first page next video. So we're all excited about that. So until then, bye guys.